So like in summary, I'm just a chick who loves idealism, has determination, the ability to envision a better future, but I just don't want to hear about it. I want to use my gifts to serve a greater purpose. So I'm like, simply put it, I'm a doer. I love to do a lot. So moving on to like the crux of this talk, we're talking career planning. I am a big believer that you should align your career with your work values. Does anyone know what work values are? Yes, April.
Okay, I know what I value from my places of work. I don't know if it's the same as what you consider work values.
Yep.
But for me, I really value competence and I value self-awareness. And I want to work with people who have that level of humility to allow there to be like product and user autonomy. Yeah.
Beautiful, that's really good. Anyone else who wants to share their work values? Do you guys, your work values are just money? That can be a value as well. This economy, man, huh? Anyone want to share? Guy in the corner with the beard and the specs. Yes, you look like you have some good work values. I feel it. Awesome, that's a good one. Anyone else? Don't be shy. You look like you want to say something. Yes, you. Mm-hmm. You. Yeah, you're turning. Yeah.
Hi everyone. My name is Sasha. I'm a product marketer. So it's actually very interesting to see April. So thanks Never for organizing such a meetup. I talked to April back in 2020 when I was figuring out how to merge my marketing skills with my tech skills. That's how I ended up in product marketing.
Awesome.
So to answer your question, my work values, I think transparency, and always learning, right? So I'd like to be in spaces where I'm being challenged and constantly learning. And also, I prefer working in an organization that's very transparent from leadership to.
Hey, let's hear back. Young man, you look like you're deep in thought.
I was thinking through my work values.
You know, like?
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah.
My name is George Kibenda. I work in fintech, company called Shara. I guess one of the work values that I have is, I didn't know how to put it down in words, but the word I wrote was open. And when I thought open, I'm like, open in, first of all, being open to people's ideas within the organization. Being able to understand that there's not only one way to handle an issue, they need to be open to other possible solutions. Open in the sense that if I would like to say, if I work in the product team, you're the chief product officer, you should have like an open policy where I can easily approach you, not like I have to go through so much before I can be able to speak to you. So for me, I think it's vital for where I work, for it to be an open environment where I'm able to freely like speak my mind and be able to interact with anyone I need to interact with to make my work easier.
Beautiful. I'm coming for someone at the back, so be prepared. I love the color mustard.
Hello, my name is Collins. My name is Collins Aringo. I'm a graphic designer. I was recently in the NGO space. I'm trying to transition back to doing something more tech related. I've also worked for fintech called Samco in Tanzania. So I'm just trying to get back to that space. I'd say my work values are communication and growth. So being in a space where I'm able to grow, or I can see projection of where the career is headed to. And in terms of communication, I think it's the same as transparency, where we have open communication within the whole organization and people are transparent enough to share thoughts and likes, dislikes, and help the company grow.
Awesome. Liz, you have the mic.
Hi, everyone. I'm Liz. I'm a product manager. I work with Wangari. This community is sponsored by Wangari. My work values are open communication, autonomy, and money. And
Just keeping it real. I love it. Someone from this side. Yeah?
Hi everyone, my name is Christine. I'm a software engineer, currently working at a company called Steam. It's around dating. My work values are psychological safety. I think it's so important to be in a space where you feel open to share and safe spaces. Another one is intellectual curiosity. So this cuts across teams. People who are curious, like learn, just interact across two different departments. Yeah. And I think the last one for me is okay, just with compensation, but we need to get
Money.
based on money is but yeah, I think the overarching one for me is fun and excitement. I want to be in spaces where I'm able to build, to grow, and have fun with that. And for me, I think that's why I circle mostly around software, because there's so much room for creativity.
Awesome. I love those. Very beautiful. Do you want to share? You look like. You're like, I feel her. Sisters, preach. Let's hear you.
Hi everyone. So one of the values that hasn't been mentioned yet is clarity. So this is like clarity in communication, clarity in direction, clarity in intention from team members and stuff. So I find that at least being clear makes everything easier and everyone can move better. Once I don't have that, everything doesn't make sense. And just with the curiosity stuff, there's something I call figure-outable. Everything is figure-outable, so you should never, I don't know that it's figure-outable. So I like working with people who figure out things.
Awesome. Those are some really good work values. And like when you're, yeah?
I wanted to add one
Go for it.
that might be a bit surprising for people, but it would be self-awareness and authenticity, and that is like bringing your whole self to work, which is something that unfortunately a lot of Kenyan companies frown upon. So I wish that would change. So since you have a YouTube channel, please.
Content.
Yes.
Always looking for content. Yeah, that was, thank you all for sharing that. And I know it's sometimes it's difficult to share what your work values are, but I think it's important to know them. And as you are planning your career, just align to organization and problems that match that value. Because there's nothing as hard as working for an organization and your work values are conflicting with the company value. Yeah? Because some organizations are just built a certain way and will just not match. And that's like kind of the especially in product, that's just kind of the reality. Cool? So we're gonna go to exercise number 2. This is a really big one for me. Interests. Things that excite you and that you're curious about. Okay? Like, I'm super interested in things like health, like how the body works, the anatomy and physiology of it. Interested in like money. I'm a Kikuyu. So I spend a lot of time in like finance and fintech just to understand how this business is built, how they make money. Did I learn much? Only that the rich get richer and are never happier. So it's kind of was a learning lesson for me. So yeah, we're just gonna spend the next couple of minutes just writing down what your interests are. Yeah? And just another couple of seconds. I'm trying to be honest. Awesome. I really love that song. I was trying hard not to sing. Who's ready to share? Yes, you.
Hello everybody. My name is Tess and I'm an ALEX student. My interest and what I'm curious about, I think I'm curious about how things work.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like ALEX will help me understand more of that.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
Cool. I'm just going to pick people, so you please feel free to put up your hand.
Thank you.
Welcome.
My name is Martin. One of the things I'd say I'm interested in is biology, the way things work, especially with organisms. Another thing is maybe how far one can take certain particular software or apps, even if they might do like really extreme and quirky things. So like if you can create maybe an app which you can put in lyrics and it can recreate it in the voice of any other musician out there, even if it might not be practical, just for fun. So yeah, those are things I'm curious about.
I hope you become like Elon Musk. Yeah, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Jean. I'm a data analyst at a firm called Macrise, and we work in optimizing supply chains for global health. The things that I'm interested in, one is closing inequality gaps. That's in gender, in healthcare, socioeconomic gaps as well. Then also in the data space, I'm really interested in data testing. I spend a lot of time evangelizing. You look at your data as a product, and the same way you test your code, you must test your data. Finally, in paying it forward, all the things that I've learned from people, I try to see how I can pay it forward. And so I like organizations that also think in that mindset of paying it forward, whether it's by sharing their work or open sourcing their work. Yeah.
Tell me more about data testing. Or do you guys know about data testing? Anybody? Okay. I don't. So I'm not ashamed. Yeah.
So I'm in a space where we are not in control of the data that we receive. We're getting it from external partners.
Mm-hmm.
And we're asking you, for example, to help them optimize some of their supply chain. So we're running predictions and forecasts and stuff. So we tell you the data is clean, then you can't just trust them. You have to properly set up that pipeline in a way that even as we're ingesting, we're testing to make sure all of the things that they've told us and all of the assumptions that hold that there. At a basic level, you can do that, you can try test, don't really like it. But there's a tool called Great Expectations that I use. It has a steep learning curve, but it fits into certain data pipelines like Codaxa, and it works, and it gives these nice reports that tell you whether your data has met a certain set of expectations. And you plug into your pipeline, you're able to give your PMs, for example, that report and tell them that, hey, these are the parts that you need to go back and check with the client. And that's because you look at things as data as a product, not just as the end.
Very interesting. Cool. Thank you for sharing. You can.
Hi, my name is Sandra. Some of the things that I'm interested in are skincare, mostly because I am a skincare content creator.
Oh, cool.
So,
tell us your channel. We'll subscribe.
It's called Blue and Us.
Okay.
So apart from skincare, just because I used to have really bad acne, and so I've always wanted to understand how well the skin works, how it repairs itself. I just think it's a really fascinating thing, and also it's our largest organ. The other thing that I find really interesting is artificial intelligence. Like, I just like all the different filters, all the different ways where I don't know, I just find it very interesting.
Cool. Anyone else want to share? Yeah, go for it.
Hi everyone.
Hey.
I'm Tashana, product manager for a health tech startup called Endaktari, but our parent company is called Accessafia. Basically what Accessafia does is they run a chain of pharmacies and clinics in low-income areas, but the side of the company I work for, Endaktari, does the same, but with a telemedicine app. One thing that I find very, very interesting is accessibility and democratization to basic services, which I think is the one thing that keeps me interested in my job, because I know that at the end of each day you've made a very basic service accessible to people who otherwise wouldn't have had access to that service. So I'm generally very interested in products and services that enable people to access basic needs or basic services like education, healthcare.
That's beautiful. Do you want to go? Don't pass that mic to me.
A bit nervous, but hi everyone. I'm Michelle. So I'm new in tech, UX designer. I studied psychology. So the things that I find interesting is AI as well. I'm very interested in that at the moment. And then something else I'm interested in is systems and society. So I kind of like to spend time just reading about like economics or just how things work in general, uptake of new technology in different societies and that kind of thing. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for everyone who shared. Again, your interests are really important. Like when you're thinking of your career, I am a big believer, as I said in my first slide, I am idealistic. If you're not interested in a certain sector, why would you want to try and grow in it? And I understand there's the money aspects, but let your interests really play a part in your career planning. Who agrees with me? The rest are like me, I just want the money. It's a mix of both. Because you also want to learn something different, or?
Definitely, learning is eternal. You're lifelong learners. If you're not learning everywhere you go, basically, human beings are like a phone. If you're not updating your system, you're going to be redundant. You're going to be that 3310. Maybe you are breakable.
I have a 3310.
It can shoot your content.
And any other thoughts from you?
For me, money plays a big part, to be honest. It comes fast.
Wow.
If a recruiter is reaching out to me, I always ask what's the budget. And I feel like that's very important. And also that comes when you're coming up with the products, is that it actually has to bring in revenue, right? And be sustainable. So anything I'll say will be applying to products. Just don't look at me and say, this guy loves money. But anyway, yeah, so in my perspective, I believe that. But also I think it's also career growth and what you want to do. And I always say people, you should always do research. I did, my background is marketing, then I read school things about tech, then I did project management, I'm a product manager. I also do direction. So I think, as he said, life is, we're on a lifelong journey of learning. And I believe, although AI is about to disrupt a lot of things in that space, but I'm also learning a lot. Today I gave a talk about AI, funny thing. And it was just good to refugees actually, to see how they can use that to be able to just improve their livelihoods, create websites and all of these things, Midjourney, ChatGPT, so yeah.
Cool, thank you. Awesome. So we'll move on to the next one, your abilities. So, and I'll take an example of product managers. If you're an introvert, you are going to start really kind of struggle. And I don't say it's impossible. It's definitely possible, but you need some extra skills to like figure out like how to be a good product manager. It's all about really understanding what are my abilities. Who can shout out some skills, some really good skills for product managers? Like 5 must-haves for a product manager.
Communication.
Yeah, just one.
Presentation.
What do you mean presentation?
Be being able to put across your ideas.
Okay, so like communication, presentation, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's okay, yes. Don't be shy. Yeah, what did you say? I didn't hear you. Research. So being able to do like research and...
Relationship management?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you said...
Relationship management?
Oh yeah, that's a big one, the stakeholders and just managing them. Yeah.
Critical thinking.
Biggest one, I always say. And critical thinking is sometimes, it's not like that easy to, even to be able to communicate that you're a critical thinker. Anything else? Yeah?
Influence.
Influence, yeah. How do you influence without authority?
You make friends.
You make friends, yeah. You build relationships. Any other ideas? Yeah?
Understanding feedback.
Understanding feedback. Let's talk more about that.
When you're creating something for other people, it's important for you to understand from what you're giving them, what are you getting back in terms of how it's meant to be taken up, because you are creating for someone else. So if you can't understand what someone else wants to communicate back to you from what you're producing,
yeah,
then how can you make it better?
Totally. Anything else? Skills, characteristics, abilities of product managers that haven't been mentioned. Team leadership. Tell me more.
I guess you'll be in charge of a product.
Mm-hmm.
You have different people that will be with you, under you, to make sure that product is good for market and use and continue paying with them. So you need to know how to deal with the people you're working with and how to lead them to achieve the goals that you set at the beginning.
Yeah, okay, nice. Yes? I can't hear.
Needs assessment.
Begin the mic.
Needs assessment.
Needs assessment.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Understand what the customers needs.
Sorry?
Understanding what the customers needs.
Oh, yeah. Yes, very true. Any others? Yes?
Can listening count?
Being a very active listener. Yeah, for sure. I agree. Definitely counts.
Must be assertive.
Must be assertive.
Otherwise you can get lost in everything and do nothing.
Yeah. I agree. Good one.
Collaboration.
Yeah. Be very keen to collaborate. Awesome.
Problem solving. And we do product managers always come to new ideas to solve a certain.
Yeah. Awesome. So many abilities. Which ones do you have? Yes?
I think it's important for product managers to be self-aware because
me,
I work in a startup, and at the beginning, I always used to get upset, like trying to get a change in the product. I thought we just go back and 1, 2, 3 and that's it, but it takes so much more than that, and being able to just explain that to the team and being able to get them to understand that, okay, you want this button to be red. It's not just me going back there and turning it to be red. There's a reason why this button is to be red, why this to be green. So I think, it's important.
Yeah. Yes. Cynthia, right? Chris, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I think building up on what you said, it's about being a strategic thinker and also prioritizing, because I feel like I'm very trained to even some of product management teams and the difference between that and project management. But there's an aspect of being able to manage expectations that needs to cut across, especially when it comes to like building the product and having that understanding of like how long something takes to build just helps you think better of like how do you prioritize what's going to drive for more impact, right? Because it's easy to get lost in the nitty-gritties of things that may not be high impact and high value. So I think being able to think strategically about what that looks like, especially when planning those roadmaps, just really plays such a big part.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And I also think a really big one for product managers is just resilience. And I always like tap into, like, you guys know the Serenity Prayer? Not that I'm religious or anything, but God grant me the serenity to know the things that I can change, those that I cannot, and the courage to know the difference, yeah? That is like, and I'm not religious, I'm not like preaching to y'all, but like something I really like tap into sometimes. As long as you've done your part, just know it, yeah, this is the limit I can go to. Awesome. So let's just, a couple of minutes, put on your abilities. I told you, I want you guys to go home with something that you can think about. One thing I always recommend product managers, people in product, do a personality test. If you don't know yourself, like they help. Personality tests, and this is just me, who I am. Like there's 16 personalities. I don't know if you guys know that website. It takes roughly 20 minutes to get your personality test, and it's really important because it kind of lets you know like your strengths, your areas of opportunity, like, you know, makes you like someone understands me. And sometimes product managers or people in product just need that. Like someone actually gets me. So I really highly recommend doing a personality test when you want to get into like product or any role, just to make sure, because there's a lot of like pressures, or going to tech, or going to this, going to that. Is it actually right for you? Yeah? Cool. I know a few people have talked about this, and I guess for me this is kind of how I got into product. Like right now I'm Chief Product Officer. I don't know what's after this, because it ends there. But like, yeah, graduated from college or university. Well, that's not mandatory these days. And I do think avenues, I've had a lot of people who are in project management. We have engineers here. We have people from a business analyst background. All those are kind of like steps to get into product management. Associate product managers, we don't have, and I was talking to someone in this room, we don't have many associate program manager like programs in Africa, which is like a big bummer. But I would say that's like an opportunity to create your own, you know, why not? And then from there going into junior product management, and then product manager, and this is very linear. You know, you can always like get out of product management and go into, if you're more interested in research or design, and then senior product manager, product leader, and VP of product or chief product officer. So that's like very, I know you guys have seen this diagram very many times, but yeah, this is a big one for me, okay? Sometimes you don't get the, you know, your planning, like I want to be a project manager. You need to think about how can I achieve becoming a product manager? And we know how to do that through that, like, you know, whether it's getting someone to mentor you, whether it's volunteering. Sometimes the best way is just build your own product, and you kind of learn a lot from that process. Attending product meetups, networking. Always have a plan B. And what is your plan B? Like, is it like maybe I should just try out and be a business analyst? Should I maybe figure out like tech? Should I become like an engineer? Should I maybe go into project management? Because there's a lot of intersections between them, and you never know like what opportunities might, you know, come by when you try and figure out like, I can't get into product manager right now, but I can take a step back, and then maybe like in a year or two, I can get into product management if it's something that you really, really want to go for. Yeah? So we're just gonna do this for a few minutes, where I think everyone here kind of wants a product role, that they have their dream product role, but let's focus on the plan B. What if I can't get that dream role or that position that I want? What would my plan B look like? Yeah? Okay. The one in the corner, you. What's your plan B, and what is your current situation? And what's your plan B? Do you want this? Or you'll... Okay.
Yeah, I'm product owner for Rome. So I work a lot with hardware. I did start off as a designer, and I actually enjoy a lot of design. So probably go back into designing, or at least stay in the new tech space and designing new hardware, really.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anyone want to share? Had anyone ever thought, who had never thought of a plan B for their career? It's okay, you can put your hands up. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, I think it is a good reflection to have, because, I mean, yeah, all those opportunities won't always be there, but you definitely can find avenues to get there at some stage. Anyone else want to share? Yes? Yeah, I thought you didn't have a plan, but no.
Actually, that's a follow-up to not having a plan.
Okay.
I think one of my key values is chasing the impossible and just audacity, basically, which is basically been my career until this particular moment that together with Martha, when we were building electric vehicles, was like the impossible thing to do in Africa. So it was a big leap, and everyone, even now, people still think it's impossible to build automotive products. So with regard to plan B, sometimes you just have to go off the edge and just be like, yeah, this is something I'm super passionate about, and I feel plan B is softening the blow.
Okay.
So yeah, just living with audacity, being super passionate about what you're doing, because in the end, as long as you're chasing a product that actually has impact, has value,
yeah,
and is impossible, there'll be a niche. There'll be someone out there who thank you for having that product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else with? Yeah.
Okay, this is just to answer him, eh? So,
everyone's, guys, I also think like this is very personal to,
yeah,
everyone's different. Yeah.
So I think the plan B is when the product has an impact to you. So like,
Oh, yeah. I like that. Yeah.
So like you may also be creating a product expecting to build impact and everything else.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, the product is yours at your home using by yourself. And so, yeah.
Thank you so much. Anyone else with thoughts? Yeah? Ooh. Okay, you first and then give it to the lady.
Personally, I feel like plan B is an excuse for not planning or working.
Yes.
That's number one. Because I firmly believe plan B is supposed to start plan B's and to make sure plan A works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's how I believe it. I don't believe in plan B. I feel like if you're not gonna do it, if you're giving yourself like, plan A, I'm giving it 80%. Then plan B, I just want it on the side. Let me just give it like 100%, You're lying. Just have to make sure plan A works.
How about, let me just a question back to you. How about, let's bring it back to like finance. We always talk about diversifying our finance and portfolio. How about diversifying your career? How about diversifying your skills? And that's something to ponder on. And I think for me that has been something I've used personally, is diversifying my skills. Like I know my interests, and I have like a very niche fitness system called Pilates, and I figure out how to like bring in like tech, and no, they can never intertwine.
So you're saying like you have to reinforce the plan B. Like it's no room for plan B because that means that one will get one for that.
Yeah, I guess we're all, as I said, we're all very different individuals in this room. Hey, I've opened up philosophical debates.
Yeah.
Go. I love to hear. Yeah.
I think this is a mindset thing and how we're looking at stuff.
Yeah.
The idea of plan A, plan B, that's not like how I would look at it. So I've personally grown up with
like great interest in a lot of things. So I'm very technical and also very artistic. And I found myself in places where I'm like, I'm torn between, because I'm told like, do you want to be an engineer or do you want to be a performing artist?
Yeah.
That's a decision.
And you can be both.
That's a decision I had to make when I was choosing my major in school. And I did one and I became a performing artist for like 5 or so years. Theater and went around.
Oh, nice.
Came back and like did theater, did now tech and software engineering and everything. And it's not about A and B and C and D.
They can
it's
like
just diversifying the same.
diversifying yourself.
Pursuing the things that interest you and then just fully going into whatever that is at that point. And if you have one interest, then I don't think that's going to be a problem because you're fully there. But if it doesn't work, or let's say you're working on something and then you just get this tangent, just follow that.
Follow it.
That's what I believe, yeah.
I love it. I think she had something to say. Both of them had something to say.
So for me, I currently work in construction. I'm an interior designer.
Nice.
But I'm looking to get into product. My plan B will to stick to construction because I actually love design. I'm only looking to transition because I feel like the industry locally is not giving me the level of satisfaction that I'd get when I got into this field. And while exploring my options, I came across product and it fits a lot of my facets. I love community, I love building for impact, and I feel like that's a space for me. So my backup would be to go back to construction and make it work. But also with what he said, I feel like in this lifetime, I can be so many things before I check out. I have so many interests, and I feel I've learned to trust my path to lead me to where I need to be in that moment. I'm going to festival design, I'm going to construction, I'll come back and work in social impact in NGOs, wherever the road leads really.
Whatever works for you, hey? Like, seriously. Oh, did you want to say something, Mukabi?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
So my plan B has nothing to do with plan A. You will catch me making wine in a vineyard.
Oh, I love it. I'll come for some of that Mukami wine.
You're very welcome.
Cool. Yeah. Yes?
Can I share a last thought?
Yeah, for sure.
So like me, I look at this in a different way. There's that one goal. This is for all my guys for like audacity to pursue what you want. But I look at this as you have a goal, and I think of plan B as not two separate lines. I think of it as different doors to the same goal.
Yeah.
So when you think of product, it's one of the hardest fields to
Get into.
penetrate. So when you look into getting it, especially if you're new to it, it's always good to look at product adjacent roles or anything along those lines. So sometimes audacity can be your biggest enemy, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just looking at it as different gateways as opposed to two different lines.
Cool. Thank you for that. Clearly, it's a big philosophical debate. Content is what I tell you guys. But yeah, that's it. I do really hope that this session has added value, it's been thought-provoking for some, which is really good. And thank you for so much for hosting me and allowing me to share my thoughts, my journey. It's been really amazing.
Round of applause for Wangari.
To hold the mic for just a bit,
sure.
And then I'll open the floor for questions from the audience. I'm sure you guys are burning with questions. Hey! Alright. If you don't have questions, I'm going to have questions.
I have questions. What is the starting question?
No.
Hi, I have a question. Hi guys.
Hey.
My name is Wanyama. I'm a media starter.
Are you?
So I'm in tech.
Amen.
First of all, it's just a pleasure being around tech guys. You guys are, as I said, the future. But for me, it was just kind of an observation because I always feel I'm the one from the shoot a contact with it. And my observation is what I always challenge, and I'm like, I find most tech guys are creating products for other people. And so when you're talking about the plan A and plan B, it just hit me that in most times what we call plan A, you're working to build someone else's.
Yep.
And then plan B is when now that hasn't worked out and you're like, okay, let me try to do A. my own thing. And so I just want to challenge all of you. Maybe that plan B is the one that will change the world. And you should think about that plan B.
I think April had a question. If you guys have questions that are still being formulated, write down the notes and continue after April.
So sometimes you want to work in product or maybe you even have like a product adjacent title. You find that you're in an organization where they're not really open to like doing product things. Like they really want to just treat the tech department like IT, or for people who read the Silicon Valley products group stuff, it's like feature teams, right, versus product teams. So, but then again, it's like not easy to come across new roles in products sometimes. So what do you think is that trade-off of like, okay, should you try to find a better home, or should you kind of stay and work on all the relationship management skills, like just change the culture in a whole organization? How would you go about that?
That is a very, very good question. I have been part of so many transformations in my life. Like I've worked for corporate and both for startup, and like there's all these transformation agendas where they want to transform. And as you said, they look at tech as a side project. It's not like it's not their DNA. And I always say, be empathetic. You know, sometimes product people come with a lot of jargon. You know, they want to do agile, they want to do scrum, the product mindset, the product-led strategy. But if you really come from the point of understanding the context, building those relationships, it's really important. I know it's tough, but again, that's why I come back to do your personality test. It's not an easy role. It's not an easy role to grow in and to thrive in. But if you have this self-awareness, if you know your values, if you know your abilities, I'm 100% sure companies will start seeing value in like a product person or product processes and a product mindset. Is my thoughts and how I've overcome these challenges in my past roles.
Cool.
I think there's a question at the back.
Hi, Wangari.
Hi.
Okay, so when I was looking at your, I'm in a non-tech role, so I was looking at your presentation on the product career thingy. So I was waiting to see something for us non-tech roles, how you can go into product, but I was just seeing mostly these people who are already in tech roles and then now become product. So I was wondering now, people like us, how do you exactly, because things like data analyst, you can go do a boot camp, software, you can go do a boot camp, product, what do you do?
Choose one of those. What are you interested in?
Yeah, I've been doing a boot camp on like data analysis because I think I have the ability to do analysis and all of that. However, now do I need to be a data analyst so that now I can move into being a product manager?
So do you want to be like, I had someone who's a data product manager. Was there someone who's a data product manager? Who's that? Yeah. There. Talk to her. Find out how, but did you start as a data analyst? Or how did you get into become a data product manager?
So I started as a software developer, then went to product management, then data, and now combined.
Yeah, it's not as straightforward. I think, and that is what I'm trying to communicate. Like, it's not a straightforward journey. Like, it's not like, and I don't think anyone should deceive you, like, or go to product school and you'll get a product job. First of all, there are not that many product manager jobs in Kenya, you know. But find ways to get there, whether it's doing data, and that technical experience and knowledge is very important. And I feel like having that sometimes makes really good PMs because the engineers can't lie to you half the time. So it's like very important to like, if your interest is there, be willing to do those technical things, and then you'll find your way into product. Yep.
Thank you.
No worries.
I'll add to that. It's a great segue for one of our sponsors today, which is ALX. No, but seriously, there's going to be a little bit more info about what ALX is doing to like help people tap into tech opportunities. That's coming up in a bit. But then I'll also add spaces like this, connecting with people who are in product is like one of the best ways to get into the space. Meet people like meet people in the room who have similar backgrounds to you, and I'm sure you're going to meet people who are hiring into this.
Awesome. I think there's a couple more.
There's a question here, and then I'll go
Two questions. One, how do you focus your intention apart from Pilates and staying off social media? How do you keep your focus within 9 to 5, and how do you turn it off after 9 to 5? From 5 to 9.
Very good question. I think one of my biggest work values is independence and a place that has a really good work-life balance and having those boundaries. And an organization like Maisha Meds offers that ability. And also I feel some workplaces feel like they own you. They own your like your 9 to 5, 5 to 5, Saturday and Sunday. And I just make sure, no, like I have to align myself to like workplaces that align to my values. It's really as simple as that. And then I love spending time in nature with my kids. And yeah, but I think I'm always constantly working just on different stuff. But it never feels like work because it's all fun to me.
Yeah, because I'm passionate of what I do. I enjoy the project, but it's hard to turn off because you wake up and you think of a project and you think of a solution a lot.
For yourself or for the company?
Product owners sometimes just yeah, so finding solutions even out of working hours sometimes becomes a distraction, and like even in your nature walks or in a gym session or whatever, you find yourself thinking about that. And would you fight yourself not to when you're out of work?
No, I mean, if I have an idea come up that could solve a problem for work on a Sunday, yeah, sure, I'll write it down. But I won't like focus on like putting my energy into solving it then. I'd probably do it like during work time. So it's just like really having those boundaries. Yeah. Good question. And the second question?
How much coffee do you take in a day?
I don't drink coffee.
What are the cheat codes?
Green tea. Oh yeah, that too.
You wouldn't need coffee.
My question is around when is the right time to have product managers involved? I mean, you mentioned it's like a fairly new thing, and like there have been circumstances, situations where like you're building up a solution, and it often probably starts with like a founder and like a tech team, and it's like I'm trying to think of like when having like a product manager is best suited, because I've also been in experiences where you get the product manager in and then they're the ones to like help, like Avengers, bring the team together.
Yeah. I am a big believer. Some of the best like startups or even like people I've worked with in the past have always brought product from the very beginning and have had that product mindset. Look, like a startup would have the money to buy, like not to buy it, but to hire like a truckload of product managers. But just like having that product mindset is like really important. I mean, we can look at so many apps in like Kenya, Kun and Kune and Loop. Like I can assure you, they say that they are product people, but there's no product. You can see like the process and the systems to build a really good product are not there. So it's very important if you building like a digital product, have people who have that experience and that expertise, is my opinion. Yeah. Or you can always, I'm always there to help.
Cool. I think we'll pause there for now. I say pause because we'll get a chance to continue the conversation with Wangari. But again, round of applause for her.